So just finished watching The Roses and I thought it was a great movie. I saw the original, not when it came out, but several years later, and I thought it started out as a good movie, but really disliked how it devolved at the ending. It just seemed like really overdone. But with this version of The Roses, which is sort of an adaptation of the original, it does sort of play out a little bit differently. One of the things that I liked in particular was that they kind of toned down the ending a bit. It's pretty much the story of a couple. In this case, we see them over the course of their relationship, how they meet, them eventually marrying, having children, but then hitting a rough patch in their relationship where one of the partners is experiencing extreme success while the other's career begins a downward spiral, and how animosity and issues and bitterness within the relationship builds up over time. Now, unfortunately, they get to the point where they start talking about divorce, but hurt feelings and whatnot, pride, ego, and some witty one liners and great dialogue results in them really just going for the jugular in their conversations and just brings a lot of bitterness into their relationship. So by the time they get to the point of talking about divorce, it's just really, really bitter, acrimonious. They're fighting over who's going to get what, and really resort to some extreme measures to try to basically win at the divorce. But what I liked with this version is that, in comparison to the other, where I felt the original movie was good throughout, but then when it got to the end, it became like too overblown. I felt here that they pushed it right to the edge of being ridiculous and overblown, but then like right at the last minute kind of reeled it back in and kind of not necessarily ended on a happier note, but I think a more, after all of this craziness ensues, a more realistic note. Dysfunctional still, but I felt more realistic than the original movie. And so here, I enjoyed the two lead actors. I thought they did a really great job. But while there is some action, there's a good deal of comedy. I really like the dialogue throughout the movie. A lot of witty one liners, some really snarky comments, but all in all, everything came together for a really great movie. And I felt like the dialogue was incredible. All of the actors, not just the leads, did their thing. So, with that, I highly recommend it.